I'm really excited here today. I have Mark Weingard. He's a British entrepreneur and a philanthropist. He started his business career 36 years ago. He started as a trader. He founded a financial technology company and sold it. He's the founder of Inyala Luxury Hotels and Inspirasia Foundation. He's been in Malta for 9 years. He just opened in 2020 the Inyala Harbor House in St. Barbara Bastions. Mark, you're undoubtedly been a success in your career, not only in the hospitality industry, but in different investments in real estate. Strive to Thrive is here to inspire business people, people wanting to come into the industry. But one thing that I understand that you have a good knack of is leadership, and tips for great leadership in our industry is needed. To be a good leader in today's business world, what traits do people need to have?
I think people need to have ears. They need to listen. They need to listen to the people around them. They need to have eyes and have vision. And I think that by demonstrating to those around them that they can see great things and can understand how to execute those things, and by listening to their team and by listening to their customers, that's how they will, get success. I think it's very important that we look and we listen, and we're always willing to learn.
If you were a young agent in Malta, what would you do about introducing real estate?
No, I mean, I actually, we were discussing before, Jeff. I think it's, if I was a young agent today, I would really be trying to focus on bringing value to the customers and explaining that, that with everything that's going on today, people sit there saying, well, why should I buy real estate? The economy is in a mess, COVID's been out there and everything else. But actually today, real estate is probably more relevant than it has been for a long time. And I would, as an agent, make sure people understood it. Why? We're in a world where inflation is rampant. And inflation today of cost of building is running at 10 to 15%. So definitely in the next 2 to 3 years, cost of real estate is going to pop by 20 to 30%. It has no choice, all right? If you want to go and buy a piece of land, you want to go and build on that land, the actual cost of doing it in 2 or 3 years' time is going to be more than that property is valued at today. Impossible that you could actually not have an increase in the value of properties. So I would make sure that the clients understood that today was a great opportunity, that you can sit down and invest in Bitcoin, you can invest in the stock market, you can invest in all different manner of things. But real estate is bricks and mortar. The cost of those bricks, the cost of that mortar has gone up substantially. And therefore, you don't have to worry about the future. You don't have to worry whether prices are going to go up or down. They will go up because they have to, just because the cost of building is going to go higher. And therefore, if you want to make sure that, not many businesses you can go into get leverage. You can borrow money from a bank, 50% or 75% or whatever. It's a chance to really go in and earn some cash. So your customers need to understand today that what they're buying is, a real opportunity. And I think they need to look at the right areas. So the areas that I would look for, I think it's, where do we invest today? Okay. And there's certain areas that are, obvious to invest in. I think they need to look to invest in places where there is limited supply. So, if you're in beautiful historic spaces, those places can't suddenly double. We can't build brand new historical buildings because they're no longer historical. If we are talking about places with views, those places, we can't just create views everywhere. All right. So, I think that there is the whole thing about where you buy is location is very important. And I think we should be, as agents, if I was an agent, I would be out there trying to help my customers find the right location, be in a market where there's going to be demand going forward, and make sure that, that I was looking after their best interests.
When you're looking at, you've been dealing with agents in Malta here and there for the last 9 years, buying and selling. Your experience with agents, how can they improve their service as agents?
I think they need to get into the shoes of the buyer. And the one thing that I noticed, the best agents that I speak to, for example, like your brother, a very good agent, right, is actually understanding what the buyer is looking for. Don't try and sell him what you have. Try and sell him what he's looking for, right? So the most important thing to do is to understand their needs, their demands. Yeah, listen, absolutely. They need to actually understand what they're looking for before they try selling to them. There is nothing worse than going out with a real estate agent who shows you 8 properties and you don't like any of them, right? So you need to take them. It's better to take them to 1 property they like than 8 they don't like, all right? Don't waste the time. Make sure that you are understanding their needs. Do a little bit of research. Find them what they want. And then when you call them, they'll know that every time you're taking them to see a property, that they're not having their time wasted and they'll go with you. So that's really important. Do your research, listen, and then be intelligent about what you're showing them.
We just run a survey, mystery shopping, and one of the latest statistics is an agent in Malta, in general, including Remax, takes sometimes 3 days to get back to a client. What do you think about that? I mean, how can we encourage the industry to improve there?
Being an agent is one thing. There's a lot of agents out there, and therefore you have to be better than the guy next to you. And the most important thing is service. So I think that if you are not responsive, then the guy's not going to call you back. And if you ignore him, he won't take your phone calls. You've got to be careful. Don't get back to him too many times. So don't call them 7 times a day. I've got this one. Oh, by the way, I've got this one. I've got this one. Try and get everything you can in one conversation. But make sure you get back to people quickly. And if you can't, send them a message. Text messaging is easy. If you can't get hold of them on the telephone, just send them a text message.
Talking to my audience, if you were to give them 3 tips today on how to improve their service, 3 final tips, what would they be?
Apart from the things I've already said.
Yeah, of course.
All right. So 3 other tips on how they can improve their service. The first thing you need to do is to understand where they're willing to spend. So I think it's really important to get the price points of the clients. And, I think you need to understand, somebody says, oh, well, you turn around to somebody and say, what you're looking to buy. They say, somebody says, I'm looking to buy something for 2 to 3 million or whatever else. You say, well, are you going to be happier if I find you a product at 2, or are you going to be happier at 3? It's quite funny. You think that everybody always wants the cheaper. But some people want the more expensive. Some people want a better product. Some people want the more quality product. So understand what they want to spend. Understand the quality that they want to get. Because, I could take you into a property that costs 3 million, 700 square meters. And I can take you into another property that's 3 million, that's 300 square meters. The 300 square meter property may be better value because it may be better quality, better views, better built. And, it's important to understand what your client is looking for in terms of quality, not just in terms of price. And, I think it's important that you listen to them and that you find out from them also, where they want to be. So those are the 3 things that I would say important. It's their location. Do you want there's no point, for example, you come to me with I'm looking for property. I'll always look, right? But you come to me and show me a property in Medina. It could be the best property in Medina. It could be really cheap. I'm not interested. Okay, it just doesn't interest me. You show me something in Floriana, Valletta, the 3 cities, I'd be interested. And I have a certain type of property that I look for. So I think each of us, you need to understand their locations, their qualities they're looking for. And really, you need to get inside their head. That's the most important thing. You need to get to know them. You probably have to show them a few duds in the first place, because you'll only learn at the very beginning, because not everybody can express what they want. But, when you are taking them on their first trip around, make sure that you are listening to them and taking notes, and then don't make the same mistake and show them the same properties next time they're not looking for. One thing that's really important, though, for buyers is that buyers are fearful of agents. They're scared of agents because, when I walk into a property, if you turn around to me and tell me, oh, yeah, this property is 200 square meters and I can see it's 140, right? That's the worst thing you can ever say. Don't bullshit. Be honest, right? So I think one of the worst things that happens with agents is they can lie. Second thing, they'll walk in, the view's like looking over, I don't know, some like a junkyard or something like that. And they say, oh, the view's okay if you look to that direction. In that case, you just need to turn around and say, look, the view's not good, but you've got a great deal here. Because of that, the price is less. So don't turn around and try and lie about what you're seeing and trying to say, belittle the bad view. Try and understand that that view was the reason why the property cost a little bit less. All right? And, so always be honest. Always be straightforward. Don't bullshit. Okay? Definitely don't bullshit someone like me, because you don't bullshit a bullshitter, because we'll know you straight away. All right? So it's very important. Be straight, be honest, be direct, and tell the truth.
Thanks for your insight, Mark. Thanks for being on the show. By the way, good luck on the new show, Shark Tank, which will be televised in April.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure to be here, and I'll be back anytime you need it.